Now. Now, everybody, just give me a moment. It's been a while. In fact, it's so been a while that my sound setup is not even set up. There it is. Okay, should be better now. Let's see. Time to make some announcement. You know, the social media stuff is always an interesting thing to be in. Let's see what we got here. We got Discord. We got Blue Sky. That's something that I'm starting. I love it much better than that other place, I have to say. Oh, I gotta sign up. If I remember my password. Oh, please. Okay, here we are. Blue Sky. Starting on new, you know? Let's see. How do I do this? New post. Watch me get nothing. Fellow Godot indie game dev. Watch me get nothing done and chill with me. Fellow indie game devs. There you go. Twitch is what? Twitch.tv/developer Ezra, I believe. And then YouTube will need its own link. I'd say this is a surprise stream. I think this is categorically a surprise stream. Because typically. There you go. Okay. Make sure I got the right volume here. Oh, my. How long has it been, everyone? Hope we see a lot of people joining soon. Turning on my stream manager so I can see what's going on with everyone here. Live. A odd wee hour, that's for sure. It's not my usual hour. Hey, Blood Mage says morning. Blood Mage says morning as surprise indeed. It's 4 a.m. Wow. Why are you awake? 4 a.m. Jeez. I'm glad you're up. Look, guys, I have Blue Sky now. Oh, thanks for the follow, Prismatic Queen. Yes. Mikori says, such a late stream. It is. It is a late stream. I'm sorry, everyone. I have been busy. I've been moving. I've been trying to meet deadline with my video, which is going. I'm waiting on my editor, but editor was like, can you ask your sponsor for a delay? I'm like, gonna need a very specific date. So maybe not. That needs to go. I also have 20 shorts from live stream. So I'm gonna try to get that out every day. The next month. So full-time content maker life here. And by the way, I made a move. I need a banner for the what do you call my Blue Sky. I don't know if you're aware, but there was a massive exodus out of Twitter for the recent announcement, and that's been pretty amazing to see. And I know that first wave. Blood Mage says, also, hi Twitch chat. I'm on mobile, so I can't read. Oh, it's okay. It's just Mikori right now typing at the moment. But I was just saying, if I can find my thumbnail somewhere here. There it is. I'm going to use this as my banner for now. Somewhere in here. Now you get to see all the thumbnails I have made so far. Let's see. Good enough. That looks professional enough, right? There you go. Ta-da! Hopefully that does something. I don't know if that does anything. Blood Mage says, I couldn't sleep. I was reading a novel. Oh, what novel, I wonder? Should read more Lovecraftian novel and inspire me like Zuzu did. I need to make that same announcement over here too, actually. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I mean, obviously, we need to get our game finished, but at the same time, I am very tired and my brain is semi fried. Here we are in a odd hour. Let's get nothing done. Hopefully, that's viral idea. um, yeah. If you want to hear me randomly chat about things, you can follow me on Blue Sky. But it's mostly Blue Sky is mostly for, I would say, um, marketing. Personally, Blood Mage says Shadow Slave still. I am thinking of getting into Lovecraft novel. You know, I don't blame you because I keep saying this to people, but I never read. That's also because I can't read. Which is a lie. I mean, obviously I can read, but um ooh, interesting. Okay, let's see. We're gonna share my Twitch link here. Oop. There we are. I can read, but reading is a very difficult task to do. So what do we do now? What do we do now? I do have a few things I want to do for video in the future video. I want to do all those like, hey, here collection of all the annoying bugs that is impossible to resolve uh by yourself, but I got lucky and spent unnecessarily amount of hours to solve, and now I know what to do, but you probably don't know. Long title, I know, but you know, you know how it is. All right, let's answer this text messages. Mitch says, haha, Mikori. Oh, wait. How come I just saw your hello message by Mikori after the fact that I've read your such late stream comment? It is what it is. Anyways, so what do we have so far, right? Ooh, you know what I did? I did this. Okay. I did update something since last time. So, all right, ready? Uh, there we are. Okay. So this, which obviously you guys have seen before, nothing new here. But in fact, it is new. Oh, wait, what happened at the end? Anyways, it is new because okay, that's broken. Anyways, I'm gonna have to figure this out. For some reason, I updated something. I had done it manually, right? You guys have who's been following seen my manual event writing, which isn't too manual. It's still kind of smart. Where I do one of these things, where I like, hey, create a page, do a paragraph, blah 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 blah. It is now using my own Dialog plugin. I mean, you guys are aware of my Dialog plugin, but I was like, I'm not going to attach to my Dialog plugin. I did. I attached to my Dialog plugin because I thought, well, I need a lot more story. And I also thought I'm going to start adding some dialogues for characters for kind of like the story progression for the game. So I did do that. Let me show you what that looks like. Fire event, see? We got the fire event here. signal feed, which means use the feed paper mode. Yeah. And then you can see title fire, right? Right here. The way I'm doing it is I have ways to do it so that I can program trigger on signal, right? But I've also made it so that it catches the line, it reads by the line, and then has very specific commands that I handle. So for example, here, when I see title colon, it makes it into this like title mode. And then stat crew means display the stat bonuses or changes for the crew. So it says crew, citizen com, and then this is health, action, and stress. So then you see positive +1 stress. So it shows +1 stress here. And it takes rest as a regular paragraph. Obviously the choices here. So we do choices here, then it goes to right here. It says choose your first crewmate to respond. You can see right here though, this is only one choice, but there's two choices here. I made a command so that if the choice says crew selection, it displays all the available crews. And so if I click it here, it's going to go to the second assignment. It's going to be like, choose your second crewmate to respond. Adding a second helper significantly reduces the travel delay, plus 10% day versus 30% day. And then I can do that. Crew selection, respond with 2. But then right now it's not working because there's nothing here. But if I do respond with 1, it should come here. 1 is enough. And it does get assigned as text. That grabs whoever has been assigned, which is citizen. Assigns that a result, and a result alone operates blah, 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 blah. It shows day progress plus 30. Oh, yeah, I got to make it so that the plus 30 gets applied here. So, yeah. So making life a little bit easier. But initially, life is not easy because what that means is that I need to transfer all of this into my Dialog plugin. But this would be a good time to test how easy it is to remember all these scripts or like all that. So we'll see. The few things I need to do. So I have this dialog manager here. The way I handle all this is done by this. Let me get to this command, day command. So that's what I was trying to finish here. It's pretty silly. Anybody who's used to my dialog plugin knows that I have this thing called handle response by the Easy Dialog Reader, like the dialog generated. It's handled here, like right here. And if my mode is feed, it does this box. So I have 2 different things. And right here. So one thing I do need to do here right now is right now I'm just showing this as a paragraph being like, hey, or not that. I show the handle day progress. So I show the day progress, but I don't actually add it. So I need to add it now. So what is that? Oh, I do need to test this though. Let me restart it so that, because there's a special thing where if the engineer gets assigned, it reduces the penalty, the fixed penalty. So let's see. I'm gonna get the engineer in there. Oop. Then let's see. So right now, technically, put out the fire. If I get engineer in there. Oops. I messed it up. I selected the wrong one. But yeah. Yes, Mikori, I am using the dialog plugin now. But I also need to add the version where it does the regular dialogue instead of the feed paper dialogue as well. So we'll have to implement that. Like this. Okay, so I gotta fix this. It's doing it twice. Here, I want to make it so that result is day progress. With that? Like that. And then if dialog state is crew assigned by type. So I made it so that engineer makes it so that it's minus 20. Over here, why is it adding it twice? Why does day progress, day progress? Makes no sense to me. Probably need to do one of these things. I'm gonna do it again. Debugging is always an issue. Minus 20 is engineer. Result says day progress plus 30. So this should add this portion in there, right? Something's wrong. Hold on. It's a little funky. Gotta fix this. Oops, wrong one. I gotta restart. But anyways. It's rough time here. Thanks for the follow, Pikman. 59,000. Pikman, 59,000. Good to see you here. Just fixing my game here. Applying my dialog plugin. Blumage says, something is always wrong. It really is. That's how it be sometimes. Honestly, though, things going wrong is always an opportunity for learning. One thing that I do want to do, another reason I wanted to apply the Dialog plugin is because I want to add a new feature. I don't understand why it does that. Something is pretty funky going on here. Let's see. What if I do this? Modifier text. Then result plus modifier text. That's what I do instead. Because I think I want to make a video or make an announcement for new feature list for the Dialog plugin manager or Dialog manager plugin. And one main thing that I've been trying to work on is internationalization or localization. So basically all these texts needs to be string ID'd automatically and then be able to be exported. I don't think it's that important personally, but it seems like there's a lot of people who really wants it / needs it. What's going on here? Why is this day progress plus 30? Why is the modifier text that? From this, how do you get that? Am I going crazy? Hydrate. Ah, yes. Whew. Bit of a situation here. I don't know. I mentioned that I've been moving. So my water filter and everything is on the other place right now. So, I just decide to boil the water instead. So it's very hot. Zuzu says 6 a.m. stream goes hard. Hey, you asked for a different time, so here it is. Blood Mage was saying earlier, something is always wrong, and yet we love game dev. We like wrong things, I think. That's what it ends up being. Well, here. Go crazy with me for a second. How is that this text right here, modifier text, is day progress colon plus 30%, when in here it's only getting assigned to this? It's not even touching the result. So what is happening? Am I not supposed to use... Hold on. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm a little puzzled. How about this? I'm going to get rid of this real quick and say blah, blah. See if that does anything. Crazy times are crazy times. Our engineer. They're wearing the same clothes. Mikori says, Ezra, what's up? I meant what I said last stream. What did you say last stream? What happened last stream? No. No. Are you actually going to use all 20,000? Oh my goodness. Incredible hopping on here. Did you guys plan this? Coincidentally, Incredible just comes in right on time. You sing and play well. Thank you. I haven't changed my string in about 3 years. That guitar is struggling right now. But I see you. Promise is promise. Promise is promise. We're a singer-songwriter stream. Just for a temporary moment. Alright. I mean, I guess. Nobody else is here anyways at this hour. So I'm not too worried. Might have to bite my tongue there, but we'll see. All right, let me just fix this and then I'll bring it out. I'm also very full right now, guys. I feel kind of bloated. You know how it is. Anybody who sings knows being bloated and singing is not a good combination. But alas, I must do what I must. People have spoken, and I must give people what they want. People have spoken. All right. I'll bring it out. But honestly, though, in some sense, I feel like I've gotten better at singing, but in another sense, I've gotten worse. It used to be purer. I think the way I used to sing was more unadulterated. Pikman says, "Yay, got here in time." Pikman, do you? It's. I don't know if you want to be here for that. It's unusual. It's me singing my old. Oh my gosh. All right, just give me a second. We'll confirm and we're gonna do this. Mikori's like, I did say I was gonna redeem it next stream, and you did, indeed. You're a person of virtue and promise. You keep your promise. There it is. Look, they progress plus 30%, minus 20% by engineer. So only 10% goes out. All right, well, that has been done. I suppose I need to do this. Mikori says, did some coding and did some other stuff. Singing clip. Yeah, exactly. Mikori says, you got to add this as a segment for the how I develop my indie game video. Did some coding and did some other stuff and then singing clip. It's embarrassing. I don't think I can conscientiously add that myself. Oh, God. Okay. I don't think you can hear my guitar that well though, right? What do I have to like change the mic setting maybe? All right, let's see. Like that. Up the gain maybe? Is that audible? Or is it not? Do I have to do it like this? Do I have to be like this? Hello. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I don't want to do this. Oh my gosh. How does it go? No, it's not. No. It's something like I think it's something like that. Oh my gosh. Try and go up with the mic. Hello. I think. Oh my gosh, it's so corny too. Everyone, why you do this to me? Ah. 20,000 point is no small deal, so I have to do it, I think. Suzu says this makes getting up at 6 worth it. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, only my most avid and trusted viewers are here. So I feel a little bit more comfortable. But I still fear the clip that's about to happen. I don't remember the lyrics, so I'm gonna pull up my video because I think I posted the lyrics on it. Oh, no. Ugh, Jesus. What does it say? I think. Oh my gosh. 12 years ago, guys. Everyone, it's 12 years ago. All right, here it is. Please don't judge. All right, here it is. Okay. What's the chorus? I think the chorus is a little different. Let me see. And then I go. How does it go? Sometimes I have to. Okay. You go. And then. I don't think that's it. I don't remember. Oh my gosh. Incredible says, also, this is a good devlog material. I don't know if this is it. But, you know, it's entertainment if anything else. Zeus says, I'll maybe sometimes sing for you as well if that makes you feel better. Of course. Military, no. It's a new pivot. No more development. Get nothing done, right? Lately, the wind has gotten a little chillier and barely hurt, you know. I'm freezing inside out. Snowman made by a child I was once enjoyable, but now I'm left alone. Have you grown out of me, my child? I was made whole by you. You put a smile on my face. I'm a little rusty here. And it will never fade. I'm just your snowman. I don't know the chorus. I really can't do it. Hold on, I gotta figure this out. Now I'm bothered. I have to figure it out now. Hold on. Oh, it's this. I used to be much better at this, I think. What is this? Is this B? Hold on. A, B, D? I'm just a snowman sitting right outside your window. Please come and save me. I'll be where you left me, baby. I'm just a snowman sitting right outside the window. Something like that, right? Is that right? I think so. Zizin Granzel says, hello, first time catching Ezra live, but wow, catching him sing is so amazing. No, the whole point was that nobody's gonna be here. Yeah, sorry. I was showing my old videos last stream, and Mikori, one of my mods, was like, you should do it live. And I was like, no, only if you spend 20,000 points. And alas, Mikori did use 20,000 points. Jeez. Let's see. What do we got here? Pikman says if he flipped a coin to go to Rockstar Life for developer, he had to have hit developer. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate everyone. At least it's some sort of encouragement. So I guess that's it. Unless you want me to do it better, I guess. I mean, I have to do it better now. I think I do need to change the lyrics. It's a little bit juvenile. Lately, the wind has gotten a little chillier and barely hurt, you know. I'm freezing inside out. Something like that, right? Snowman made by a child I was once enjoyable, but now I'm left alone. Have you grown out of me, my child? I was made whole by you. You put a smile on my face, and it will never fade. I'm just a man. I'm just a snowman sitting right outside your window. Please come and save me. I'll be where you left me, baby. I'm just just a snowman sitting right outside the window. All right, that's enough. Now I'm on Twitch, says Suzu. Well done, everyone. Thanks for enduring with me. And that is part of my life that I have forgotten about. But that worth 20,000 points, Mikori? I hope that was enough. Jonas is over here too, dang. Oh no. Bloodmage says clipped. Oh god. I got clipped here. Everyone, it's funny. It's a dev stream. I swear it's a dev stream, but people always catches me doing the most non-dev things. I have to say. Hey, as long as everybody's enjoying it. Zuzu says, "Oh, you wrote this song? Yeah, it's my original. It's my OG back in the day, 12 years ago. 12 years ago. I had a lot of teenage heartbreaks that caused a lot of songwriting, and of course, just in time, Incredible spins the wheel. I kind of feel a little full. I don't know if I can do like intense exercise. I need to slow into it. We do everything but developer in this stream. Developer Ezra does everything except develop. 20 deep squats, not bad. At least that's not going to hurt my stomach or anything. Blood Mage says, worth it. Worth it now I can pass out in peace. Well, go to sleep. Go to sleep. I know you've been holding out. Thanks for stopping by. It's been a while. All right, here it goes to 20 squats, right? Let's see what we got here. All right, 20, 20, 20. Ooh. Ugh. It's not like I haven't been using my muscles recently. As I said, I have been moving, which means physical. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. Was it always this difficult? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh my goodness. Guys, it's 9:20 over here. What are you guys making me do? Incredible says, "Yep, it has always been this difficult. It has. It has." Oh, Incredible, you need to share the emote that you want to show to Mikori, I believe, for that redeem. Okay, okay. All right, well, now that I have a few people here again, I didn't get rid of it, but I'm on Blue Sky now. I'm joining a bunch of people in the exodus to Blue Sky. So, military's asking, am I on your Discord? Yeah, that is how it works, Incredible. Mikori needs to put it on the screen because it's a manual thing. I haven't had it programmed. I guess I should program it. I don't know, military. I feel like you're not in there. Cause I try to ping you the other day, but you weren't there. Whew. Hydrate. Hydrate. Cheers. I think he wanted to use that toilet one. Toilet break. Well, anyways, continuing on. I mean, I was saying, finally, I transferred my event on paper on my game. Hold on. I gotta make sure my volume is appropriate. Okay. I had to mess with the sound settings, so I'm just making sure it's back to where it was. Oh my gosh. No. What happened? Hold on, something just jumped. There you go. Whew. I was just showing people that I made it so I'm testing this right now, right here. This used to be just straight up hard coding. Not quite hard coding, but basically next best to hard coding, where function responds to this, where I build a page with a little factory model. I implemented this into a Dialog plugin. This might be interesting to you and us, since your team uses Dialog plugin. I do this thing where sometimes if it's like syntax as opposed to a command execution, I just go ahead and make my own pattern. Like this. You see how it says title : fire, stat : cruise : 001. It's almost like function call. But what I do is in my dialog manager, when I'm handling the response, handle response on easy dialog response handler, somewhere in here. This is a response handler. I'm taking the response and then I have two different mode where it's like, oh, is it a dialog box or is it a feed paper? And on feed paper, you can see right here, I actually split the text by the line and I go through the line and then execute it so that it's like, oh, if I see title, if it starts with title : then interpret it a certain way. If it starts with stat : then interpret it a certain way. So I have this like, oh, jeez. This is not the first time I've done this. No. I can't. Oh, no. All right, bye. Good night, Blood Mage. Thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry, Jonas. Jeez. Well, hold on. I gotta say everything again. Oh my gosh. I'll never learn. I was saying, look at my Dialog plugin, right? This is a page. And you can see this is what it looks like, but on game, this is how it's interpreted. See? You see? Signal feed. Whoa, with screen share, it's better. Thanks for the donate. Or is that a super chat? I don't know what to call it on YouTube. Thanks for the super chat. Wait, I thought it would do voice to text though. I'll do it for you. With screen share, it's better. All right, there it is. So you see title : here. Like this is not a command mode, right? It's just regular text. And this is a regular text too. You can see right here. And I handle it on my dialog response generated, which is normal. And basically, when I'm parsing the response, I split the text response by the line and then do another parsing. So I'm doing a parsing on top of parsing. Parsing that's done by the Easy Dialog plugin is this like whole signal dialog blah blah blah, right? And I'm doing my own parsing rules on the text because these are text rules, right? So I can do like some sort of syntax replacement, which is this, where I go, hey, if it starts with title, treat it as title. If it starts with stat, treat it as stat line, blah blah blah, all these other things, which comes out to be this. So I built this dialog box based on those rules. Another interesting thing I did is multiple choice. So you see this choice right here? I'll show you. Right now, if I do put out the fire, which is right here, choose your first crewmate to respond. But there's two choices. Right here is just single choice called crew selection. I'm handling it right here, handle choice line. This is a little bit silly way to do it. Basically, whenever I see a choice with a specific name, then I treat it as certain specific rule. The complication is the exploding it and then returning it back to this, like, because for the easy dialog plugin, it's expecting choice index 0. Right? In this case, it's expecting 0. In this case, 0 for all other choices. So routing it back is the kind of complicated part, but you can figure it out, I'm sure. But yeah, so that's an interesting way to use it, because as much as I love the signal way of using it, if it's not like programmatic thing, but more so like syntax thing that I want to do, kind of like the HTML or XML type of stuff, I like to just do a post parsing. So that's a little tip, I guess. I don't know. I'm sure this was already intuitive and you guys were probably doing something like that already, but I think it's something I want to kind of focus on, because the next thing I want to do right now is the localization, which I'm going to apply on this for a reason that's probably different than you guys. I want to implement internationalization / localization because I wrote these story, right? I want to be able to export this story out to an editor, and I want the editor to come back to me with the fixed thing, and then I just copy and paste it and it works without me having to replace it one at a time. So the idea would be, because I'm already parsing the dialogue components by text, choice text, I know exactly which portion is text. So I'll probably ID it automatically, be like, this would be, if there's a multiple section, it'll be like little chunks of text. So it'll be like, start text 1, start text 2, start text 3. So at least because it's using the no title as the kind of like the header of the text ID, you get a little context of what the, what do you call, string ID is. Jonas says, and that's why I love the plugin. I keeps the choices what to do with open for me. Yeah. Thanks. I mean, I really purposely designed this for that reason, because I didn't want to block anyone for the convenience of the program. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I missed also a bunch of Twitch chat when I was full screen. People were having a lot of fun here. Oh, a bunch of emotes. Choose whichever you like. Automod held the message for a reason. Ooh, military. Oh, okay. Mikori already allowed it. Said, pasted the piano riff I did yesterday. Enjoy my stilted keyboard fingering. Oh, aha. I see. Oh, that's why. What did you share? Piano riff. Silent Hill riff. This is hard to do on PC keyboard. I don't know why the compression artifacts form their own accompaniment. It is October, I guess. Oh, so you did some sort of riff for fun, I guess? Here, let me get that figured out. I'm gonna listen to it. Oh, I like that little delayed melody. The descending line. Oh, are they? Military says, "Oh my god, bright mode Discord." It is bright mode. That's how we live. We live in the light. Military says, a ton of people are streaming the Silent Hill 2 remake right now. I didn't even know there was a remake. Sounds good. I like it. I'm impressed that you're able to use that. If you're using keyboard control, that means it's MIDI, which means there's like slight delay. So I'm surprised that it works really nicely on the beat. Incredible says pooping on head. Did you guys put bunch of emotes on my face? Until he notices his full screen. Oh my gosh. Terry says managing OBS is full-time job. It really is. I need somebody else, some producer to like fade in and out for my screen. But anyways, that is it. Oh, hi Portia. Wait, did you text me? Oh my gosh. Oh, I missed a call. Oh, hold on. I can't reveal who the FBI is to my viewers. Anyways, this is where we're at. Okay? This is where we're at. Yeah. Internationalization, localization, that's the next thing. I think that's going to be a huge improvement because as much as I hate promoting for like AI usage, there's part of me that wants to be like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to get all these string and be like, AI, can you like check for all the spelling errors and fix it? And then just paste that in, you know? That doesn't count, right? That doesn't count as like creative, uh, like the mal use of I think. Anyways, that's where it be. But yeah, annoying part here. Yes, I got to make it so that the I spilled water. Oh no. My water. You think ChatGPT is not good at spelling or grammar? I mean, my argument is that I'm so bad at grammar that it's probably better than me, even if it's that not good. You know what I mean? I just don't want to have to reread everything to fix it, you know? Initially, at least. I mean, otherwise, I'm going to have to hire an editor, which I'm okay with doing. It's just obviously when things get serious, like when I'm actually releasing, I think there's a need for like actually hand managing and editing everything. But as someone who's struggling with grammar and all that stuff, I think it might be a good start. But if military says don't do it, I won't do it. Zuzu says watching as makes me realize it's not about the games we finish, but the friends we made along the way, as always. Zuzu says I can proofread. I will disappoint you with my writing. A bunch of people want to do that. Anyways, regardless, I know there are a lot of people who can help me, right? Even then, even if I'm using an editor, I need a easy way to export and import the fixes, right? The edits. Because I don't know if you are familiar with the process, that can be really annoying. Because imagine having thousands of these in a full game, right? And then you say, okay, well, in this dialog file, in this node, line 3 needs to be edited to be blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you don't expect your editor who is not technical to know how to do that. You shouldn't even expect your editor to be able to open Godot, period. Actually, a lot of those people have not touched anything other than Microsoft Word. So then you have to have some ways to freely format these text and string in a non-technical way to present so you can bring it back in. So that's kind of the goal of my string identification. Before I get there, I'm going to do this day 30. I'm going to make sure that the day penalty gets applied. A lot of things to think about. A lot of things to think about. JSON CSV. Yes, JSON is actually a very common format for internationalization. officially. If you use any of those like paid internationalization services, they are used to having this global, well-known internationalization JSON format. Um, and this is actually important because these companies, right, also hire translators, and they internally develop their own software. So this is two layers. I have string, I got to export it as JSON. And then the people who are working on your internationalization, they develop a software to parse it and present it to their translator so that it's easy to understand and for them to edit. And then maybe they control their version controlling and all that stuff too for their clients. So then they write their software. So now we have this middle layer. So they have their own version of handling localization. I have my own way of handling string. This middleware needs to be common. And a lot of times there's a very specific JSON format that people use. And so that also is why I want to make some flexible international string identification tooling here. Thanks for the follow, Denengle. Denengle? Dan Angle. Dan English. Maybe it's Dan English. I don't know. Well, either way, thanks for the follow. Yeah. Let's do this though. So on the dialog manager, I have day. On the day, handle day progress line. I made it so that I show this. And then I gotta do the penalization here. So we got the line, the diff plus modder is probably what I want to do. So state manager, game state variable, day progress plus equals diff plus modder. Let's see how that works out, shall we? I don't know why that added a D there. This over here. I guess I could just add. I don't want to do that. I guess diff could be changed here. Diff plus equals modder or modifier. There you go. Okay, let's test this out. So first, I'm going to check that it changes by 30%. Zeus says, man, it's so dark outside. I mean, because you're awake at 6 or 6:30. All right. So what I'm expecting here, right now, the day percent is 0 here, right? So if I put out the fire, if doesn't matter who I use, I do 1 is enough. That's supposed to use plus 30. 30%. Cool. Beautiful. Now, second test, I'm going to use engineer, who supposedly is reducing the day progress by 20%. Or put out the fire and have the engineer do it. I wonder if I should update this so that it shows what the actual effect is instead of showing it after the fact. 10%. Look at that. 30 minus 10%. Beautiful. Another test I might want to do. Hey, what happened to the paper? Weird. Anyways, yeah. Military says, unrelated observation. I noticed a Doom mod that replaces explosive barrel with explosive cows. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. I think that is the kind of shenanigans us game players and developers like to do in general, the modders especially. Uh, let's see. What do we got? What do we got? Now, the painful part is transferring over all of this now. So, but I have to do it. Okay, write it out is an option. Event response here. On the fire, we got fire. And on write it out, which is ignore fire, it just ends and then updates a current event. Okay, so I got to apply this now. Oh, this is so complicated. You know, part of this is kind of like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this, and it's going to be really messy, which makes me a little nervous. All right, I'm going to do this part first. So we got one is enough. If the second crew is selected instead, I suppose I should do that first. Assign second crew to the event. Yeah. And then when that happens, respond to fire with 2. I'm just going to copy and paste this over here, and then only just leave the ones that I care about. I'm going to say get assigned as text, like so. And then let me see what this command looks like, shall we? Thanks for the follow, Cassie Codes. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for the follow as we do our Godot and as we struggle through our little half-baked progress. Anyways, so let me see what I did with the signal, shall we? So we have it here, Dialog Manager. I have the signal handling. You know, I don't know if it's just me. Do you guys often forget the keywords that you implemented like 2 days ago? And you're like, I don't remember the format of my own scripting language. That happens to me all the time. And I don't know what the best way to do it is. Like, no matter how consistent I try to be, I always forget, and I have to always refer to it, which is pain. You know, I wish I have a autocomplete in my brain and a search index. I suppose that's what the ID is for. Anyways, I was in the middle of something. What was I doing? Ah, there it is. Get assigned. Here we are. Spirit says all the time, I use Excel as a journal. You use Excel as a journal? That is interesting. You got to tell me how that works. Um, you got to tell me how it works. That's pretty funny. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. This is how I use it. Okay. Bye. Another tip. Another tip. I don't know if it's truly a tip because I got confused. Right. Custom signal router. You see. Um, when you're using my dialog manager, you do the signal thing, and then it takes the whole bracketed portion as a string, and then it gives you as a value on the signal, and then you can do whatever you want with it. And oftentimes, the common pattern is you split into a comma, use the first part of the signal string comma separation as the command name. And then on that command name, instead of doing if then or cases, I just simply do these dictionary approach where it's command name to the callable. And sometimes you can bind it so you can reuse some of the effects so that you are not nesting if cases. Yeah, clean stuff. Yeah. Cassie Code says, I watched some of your deck building videos on YouTube. Is this what you're working on now? Right now, I'm not working on that video currently. like not in this moment. That series I gotten up to episode 4, and then I think on that video I was like, yeah, you know what? This is a pretty good point to stop. I know there's a lot more, but then I think we need to draw back and figure out, well, now you learn how to do this. Now you know how we need to think about in terms of programmer. How do we make it into our, how do we bring it over and over again to our new projects whenever we start another deck builder, right? Instead of being specific. So that's what I want to do on the next video. And then also there's a lot of learning I want to summarize because people have been like, this is amazing. I love this series. I love the way you think, blah, 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 show everything. But I get lost. So I have to do that too. So that's something that I'm working on as well. Right now, specifically, I'm working on my own game, my first officially releasing game called Dread on Arrival. This was like a little challenge I've done to myself for my YouTube video, which, by the way, the video is coming out soon, um, where we spun a bunch of wheel to decide on genre, theme, and a kind of like the wild card modifier. We landed on management genre. What was it? Retro-Futurism theme and seafaring as a theme. And the modifier was emotional. So I ended up coming with an idea to make this crew management game, which initially started as this like random planet seafaring, but then now it's like planetfaring or the spacefaring thing with the kind of like the vibe of treasure planet. Treasure planet. It's like planet treasure planet type of thing, where it's like actually boats with sails into space. But then the ways it's looking, because we're managing mostly cruise stress, it's looking like Darkest Dungeon. But then also like the space crew management reminds people of FTL. So at some point of the development, we called it together Darkest FTL Paper Place. Paper Place because the aesthetics kind of reminds us of that. I don't know if you've seen it, but here's a sample. This is what it looks like right now. Got a little crew. You see how like it's like a little Scantron fill-in for the crew stats, right? That retrofuturism feel. They all have different abilities. And then, star map, you can go to different places. You have the civilization, you have the waypoint station, you have the wilds, which is the kind of like is unknown discovery that I want to do where there's like some sort of story that unfolds kind of like Darkest Dungeon, but I want to hit more of the feeling of Outer Wilds. Um, but yeah, anyways. It's funny that the question was very simple. Cassie Codes just simply said, hey, are you working on your deck builder? And it said, blah, 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 blah. Just going all over the place. Don't get me started on talking. Oh, thanks for the sub. Thanks for the sub, Cassie. Appreciate it. Wow. Look at us. Already starting off strong on this new goal of the sub. Cassie says, it looks amazing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for the support. It's been amazing so far. Godot community is so fun to work with. This whole content creation journey has been so fun. Looking for new ways to grow and contribute right now. So it's been good. Let's see. Spirit Corgi on YouTube says, yep, the cells are perfect. Oh, right. This is in regards to Excel journal. And I can create labels on column and rows to help put labels on my thoughts. Do you do tab per month or per year? Or do you do separate file for your journals for different year? Because I would imagine you don't want to put all your journal of your entire life in a single file. And plus, do you post your journal in Git? You should do that. Version control. That would be so awesome. What if, oh my gosh, you could actually journal through version control. You can see Git log. It would be fun to like pull a major version update every year on your journaling to be like uh change logs and stuff like that. That'd be fun. Anyways, sometimes food for thought. Yeah. Anyways. When I started streaming tonight, kind of like a last minute stream, and then I titled it "Watch Me Get Nothing Done." I didn't anticipate how true that was going to be. But alas, it is very true. Thanks for the hydrate. I shall go get my water because I spilled it. Here we are. Here we are. Spirit Corgi says, I got nothing done, in quote, for about a week, but did a lot of work in my Bible. Oh, that's good. You know, working on the mentality and spirituality, whatever you practice. Zuzu says, man truly gamified his brain. I gamified my brain? Wait, hold, what are you referring to? Jonas says, gotta go. Have a great day. Oh, goodbye, Jonas. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the super chat once again. Have fun. Oh, my game Bible. I was like, Bible? Okay. I mean, you use capitalization, so I was like, what are you talking about? But okay. In America, typically, I think they refer to the Holy Bible as the Bible. But I guess you did say my Bible as opposed to the Bible. Uh, Sphere Corgi says my game Bible. I see. What is a game Bible? Like the guidelines for making games, or are you talking about like the rules for your game? Anyways, well, while you fill that up, I'm gonna actually try to attempt this to apply this thing that I was about to do, which I don't remember what it was. Ah, yes, fixing this. All right, get assigned as text. Return assigned crew as text. I am doing it as comma separated and separated. Okay, that's good. So the way I did it, I call this, it creates and assigns the text version of the assigned crew to the variable called result. So I'm going to do this. By the way, those who's unfamiliar, I am using my own Dialog plugin that I developed, which is available open source for everyone. I'm quite proud of it. I think it's very useful for a lot of people. Of course, there are other amazing resources as well. But if you use this, I can help you. Okay, so result work together to quickly and efficiently suppress the fire. After a brief moment, I feel like it's redundant to say that, but it's okay. After a brief moment, the fire is subdued. Day penalty here. So I got to add this day penalty. This is also engineer is there, then it's minus 20. And then I got to give the stat. And this one is 0 health, spend 1 action, but no stress gained because 2 people are working together. And then it's going to be continue. And I believe I made it so that it should do end feed, trigger end feed here. Nothing else, I think. Spend action, day progress is plus 10 instead. And then engineer will do minus 20 here. I wonder if that's going to make it so that it's negative. Probably won't. I think I made it so that it zeroes out. I don't know if I want to risk it. Spirit Corgi says the guidelines with character rules and setting. I see, I see, I see. That makes a lot more sense. Otherwise, it would have been very random. But I didn't want to say anything. Zuzu says using Git to push and pull your journal and having to fix merge conflicts and automate release notes on your birthday with change logs. Ah, that's what you meant. That is truly gamifying your brain. But yeah. But doesn't it actually sound like a good idea? Am I crazy? Okay, I'm gonna test this right now. Oh, not the pilot. So what I'm gonna test is that assigning 2 people is going to add 10% progress, but it takes minus 20 because of the engineer. I'm trying to see if I do that, is it gonna go minus percent? Two things I want to test. I have a feeling that minus is handled. But what if it's at greater than 20%? And then it was about to add 10%, but then it does minus 20%. Does it actually reduce the day that was already before the event happened? So I'm going to do two things here. I'm going to do this right now with citizen to add 30% to the queue. And then I'm going to trigger again. And then I'm going to put out the fire with engineer this time. And this is where, if I do one is enough, it's supposed to, no, I'm going to do citizen as well. So 2 people together. That's 10% minus 20 because of the engineer. Is it going to go back to 20 or 40%? Or it should be, is it going to go to 20% or 0%? Let's see. Oh, it did go to 20%. Bug. Now the question here is, do I make it so that engineer only reduces by 10% here? And change the wording? So if I do 10% here. I think I'm going to keep it at 20% because that's the rule. In case there is some effects that increases this. We don't want to make anything very specific to the event. We want to make it some more generally applicable, right? So we're going to do that. Where are we at? Generally applicable. Sometimes I say words, but it doesn't mean anything to my brain until I have to think about it because I have no idea what I was just saying. I got distracted. Yes, 20%. It's also getting late. I'm tired. I was actually kind of contemplating if I should stream tonight or not, but I thought Zuzu wants me to stream, so therefore I will. Because it's been a while since I streamed during this odd hours that are not during the West Coast, USA West Coast lunch hour or afternoon. So, don't you feel special, Zuzu? I actually did choose to stream tonight. For you lots. All right. So on the diff modifier, I'm going to make it so that it's, the diff will be diff plus modifier. And I think it needs to choose either 0 or this as the diff. Yeah. So that'll fix it. So no longer 20% here. That's going to work as intended. Engineer here. Get the comms in. Let's do 30%. What is enough? Okay. Now, event triggers again. Put out the fire with both the comms and engineer. And I'm expecting no change on the day percentage. Beautiful. That is done. All right, so that's the 2 people work. It was so much easier than the other way. So I think this change was worth it. All right, so we're going to go back to the script here. on ignore? That's the real question here. What happens on ignore? So hydrate. Let's see. Write it out means we're gonna just conclude with no changes. We're just gonna go signal end. But I feel like I need to mark something, right? Because that's what I did over in the script land. So to briefly talk out my logic to my little ducky here. I want to make it so that if you ignore fire, the fire stays, which means on the next click, meaning next event check, uh, extra things happen. It's a persisting event. Excuse me. And persisting events, what do they look like? That's a question. On this, in the script case, I made it so that it sets this variable called current event to continued fire. And when it triggers, it checks this. Now, the new way, I think I want to keep it separate. Let me see if I'm resetting the dialog state. Dialog state. Result. Yep. I think I am resetting the dialog state on start. I almost feel like I shouldn't. I feel like this should not be reset. I feel like this should be if there's nothing, then reset it. Otherwise, keep the dialog state throughout the session. Right? I feel like that should be. Where else am I using it? Dialog state. Using it for assigned and stuff like that. I think there needs to be some clearable states. So we have dialog state here. We have the dialog state helper. Luckily, I created a helper. Zuzu says, I feel honored. Oh, yes. I think about all my viewers, as I do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a static variable or static function that handles the dialog state specifically, where I say func reinitialize. It shouldn't be reinitialized. I think it should be like cleanup, which is the cleaning up of the dialog state. And basically, only thing that gets cleaned up from the state will be the assignment. Assignment being which character has been assigned as a result of the event. All right, the question is, do you do it just in time? No, I think this does need to be cleaned up. Crew choice map. What is that? Assign crew selection. I guess that is something that needs to be erased. I'm gonna delete these. And everything else I think needs to stay. Expect crew assignment. Yeah, all of these needs to be erased. At the cleanup. And I think the cleanup should trigger when dialogue is done, right? So that is, or when the dialogue starts, rather. So let's do that. dialog state helper, clean up, and then I'm going to do dialog state here. That's going to be cleaned up. Otherwise, all other keys stay. Okay, very specific. You're going to say signal flag fire ignored. We're going to say that. We're going to flag fire ignored here. Going to make a signal handler called flag. And let's do signal handling. And feed. There it is. So we'll say func flag. It's going to take some arguments. A packed string array. Basically, the variable name will be this because the 0th is command name. We're just going to simply say state manager, current state, not current state variable, game state variable, dialog state, var name equals true. And func, I'm going to make an unflag as well. So I'm making basically very simple commands I can use in the, what do you call, very simple use case for the dialog controls. So you see, I have a flag and a unflag. Over here, I'm going to add another one called unflag. So here, my goal here is on the start, I'm going to now say this is the first fire and create a new start node. I don't know what happened to these. Okay. So right now this is fire event, but I think what I want to do is I want to handle all of the event from this single file. Thanks for the follow, Karthik M98. Yes, I think that's it. So right now I have the fire going. It comes through. What I actually want to do here is that when it starts, I'm going to check a few things, right? So I'm going to say if fire ignored, which is this, then I have to go to fire ignored once. And then otherwise, I want to go to first fire. I think I added else as a command, though it doesn't matter if I did or not. Well, we'll find out. Fire ignored. Did I not do it this way? Sometimes it's hard to keep up with all the... I think this is correct. Let me go look at my code here. Or actually, I'm gonna read my own documentation. Aha. What is it? Not Twitch. GitHub. Karthik M says, "Sss." Hi. Nanda Y says, "Hey, I want to ask, what is the better structure when do you want to implement various type of enemy using a base enemy scene? I've been struggling with that." Oh no, Cassie has noticed a wheel of exercise. The wheel of exercise is if you're on Twitch using the channel point, you can spin the wheel of exercise, and then I basically do whatever's on the wheel that it lands on. If you use 500 points, you can edit any of the items here. It has really mutated quite a bit since it started because it used to be just exercises, but we got stuff like make pixel art, do a twirl and re-roll, flip the screen upside down, sing for 1 minute. No, it's just Wheel of Pain now. It's not just exercise. So that's what that is. Anyways, I'm gonna read my own what do you call document here real quick for the if cases because I don't remember it. Uh there it is. If hey, why is there a slash there? That needs to be fixed. Oh, escape command. Okay, that's right. That's right. If yes, else. That's correct. Okay, that is correct. Wow, I'm smart. I've already handled this, but it's not working here. This needs to go to first fire, but it's not coming to the first. Oh, first fire. There you go. Ah, nothing's broken. I was actually right. Jeez, my program works so well. Nanda, sorry, Nanda. I ignored your question. Let me see. Hey, I want to ask, what is the better structure when you want to implement various type of enemies using a base enemy scene? I've been struggling with that. Okay, so that's an interesting question because if you asked me 6 months ago, I might have said, use create a base enemy node and use that as a child node for all your various different types of enemy, right? To say, use enemy as a component to the other enemy because like enemy has certain logic, certain functions, and you can use that. Now, there's another key thing you can do called what do you call? Ah, jeez. Right now I'm blanking because I am also very tired, but let me try to figure it out. There is a thing called. All right, let me go to the scene here. I think it might be more obvious here. I think you can create a extension, inherit a scene. New inherited scene. You see that? So that's what you're supposed to use, technically. And then the use case that you're talking about is very much specifically designed with the inherited scene. And a lot of people use it. Now, my original point was that in Godot 3, that it was actually very painful to use. Um, Let me see. Actually, I saw some example here. It was very painful to use because there were some exceptions here. If you change things on the parent node or parent scene, all its dependent child becomes all messy, something's break. But it seems like that's no longer the case. Um, and it's actually pretty convenient. A lot of people use it as a strategy to, what do you call, do their room, in a little dungeon crawler. If you have multiple types of room, they use single room and then they make inheritance to handle a bunch of those things. So I'm going to try to find that something. I've seen the reference there. Let me see, YouTube. So that's what you want to do, I think. Now, that is a typical argument between inheritance versus composition. That's what I'm talking about. This, I think, is what you want to look at. I haven't looked at it, so I can't actually talk to you about if it is good or not. But that is what you're supposed to use, inheritance. So I hope that answers your question. Uh, yes, it does. Not as like so. Nanda says so. It creates a scene based on your other scene. Yes, it does, and it carries over everything that it has. So, for example, right here, right. So let me just do it. Why not? New inheritance scenes. I'm inheriting the audio to, I guess, open base scene. So audio is a base scene, I guess. There you go. Boom. If I save this now, I can save it as audio child, I guess. And you see how this has if I click on this, you you have all this. This is a base thing. And I create an inherited scene based on that. And you see all these yellow components saying that, hey, this is from its parent. And you also have this script that is used by the parent. So if you add node to it, so for example, if I add node here, like some new enemy thing, then if I go for audio child here, I thought it was supposed to come up. Oh, I didn't save it. Save it. Then you see there's something new. So all the changes you make on the base enemy, for example, in your case, would be reflected on all the child ones. And then specifically, if you want to have this thing, for example, okay, well, all the enemy needs to collide with the hero, but I'm going to make a new function that's like, hey, I'm going to add this control where it's like, well, this is a pick up action. So now this enemy is an enemy that can be picked up. This enemy will be pick upable enemy, and this one won't be. So, yes, I think that's technically what you're supposed to do. Have I used this before? I have not actually. Personally, I have no experience, so I actually don't know if it's actually good or not. But everybody swears by it, so I'll listen to all the experts out there. So that's your answer. Uh, let's see. Abyss. Hey, Abyss. Long time no see. Yeah, so late indeed. It's been a while. I just have a little bit of time. Cassie says, "What's the wheel of exercise?" I already explained that. Kato says, "Are inherit scenes classical OOP or is it just named that?" It's based on classical OOP. Um, it's not quite the same because inheriting a scene doesn't make it so that you inherit the script because it's the same script. It doesn't make a copy of it. If you want to make an inherited scene that uses a unique script for itself that extends the old script, the parent script, then you have to detach and attach that. So then it becomes classical OOP, I think. Um, hold on. I'm going to mute myself real quick because I got to talk on the phone. But Minis Scruff says something. Read it on the screen. I'm going to read it out loud in a bit. Just give me a second, please. Hello? What's going on here? Okay, yeah. Mini Scruff says there is also component model similar to Unity 3D Unreal that you can create in Godot by defining child nodes that add functions to the simpler component. It can be a little funky as it's not quite as defaulted like Unity though. Yeah. I mean, at least it allows it so that you can do whatever you need to do. So the whole component model works too, right? Like I personally rather create its own thing and use component and do each individual. But then if each individual enemy has multiple components that are shared across different enemies, then I feel like you want to use inheritance. So, you know, there's no one answer for all, but you should try it out. I think it's a good way to figure it out. I do know that it gets a little finicky once you start to have like many variable of the version. Anyways, Gear2G says, just got here, stream title on point. Thank you. I mean, if it accomplishes what I wanted to accomplish, which is just to make Gear2G happy, right? Zuzu says, gonna nap. Bye, Zuzu. Good night. Thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you were here. See you later. Says you'll probably be offline when I arrive at work. Probably. All right. Good night, Zuzu. All right. Nanda says, that was pretty clear. Thank you. Wow. Thanks for the. Is that a super chat? I still don't know the terms of all the support in YouTube, but either way, whatever that is, very much appreciative of your support. I'm glad that was helpful. Look at us making community. I'm glad I helped. Catboy King with the push up berry, right? That's what we're calling it. Push up berry. I have a little short there. Pikman is leaving. Bye. Good night. Have fun, says Pikman. Bye, Pikman. Thanks for stopping by. All right. Anyways, that was a long story to say what? I do not know. I actually have no idea where I am. Let's see. What was I doing? Don't remember. It's okay. I'll figure it out. We did this. We did that. We have a shop. We can actually buy stuff. And then we can navigate, cook. Ah, right. Right. I got distracted here. So I want to make it so that the event is handled by one single file. So we have if fire ignored here. I'm probably going to have another node here basically later that's like determine event or something like that, or route event. And then that's going to do a bunch of stuff. It's like, oh, and then it's like fire scenario. And then fire scenario would say something along the lines of like, okay, well, depending on how many times, which country, which planet that you're in, fire scenario routes this way. And then we're going to do route event here. So for example, for now, I'm just going to go directly to fire scenario here, right? And then on the start, it's going to do nothing. Yes, on the start, it goes to route event. I think that's what it's called. But now this is the event file, so I'm going to have to handle a bunch of stuff here. So I'm going to move it over here, reduce this here, also drop this out. That way I have more screen space to work with. So route event goes to fire scenario. So that's the first fire. If the fire is ignored, we're going to the second fire, right? Where we say fire spreads a little. And that's where we would go. Or here, if the fire is ignored once. And we have that scenario handled over in the script world where the canvas event. So basically, I'm just kind of migrating old logics to new logic. But while I do this, I could also upgrade a lot of the what do you call logic here. All right. So ignore fire is a continued fire. So this logic will probably all go away now. On continued fire here, this is the story, which I might have to change, but we'll see. So we have the title. Oops. It's going to be a signal again, or a feed again. So we're going to say start a feed. Well, it's an event, so I think all events should be a feed. So I'll trigger that command over here to change the mode to a feed, so I don't have to do this every time. And say the title is fire continues. And then we're going to say, what do we do? Stat, right? The crew will receive, loses 2 health, no action spent, but gains 1 stress. New line. And then we have a paragraph that says the fire has spread significantly. Instead of that, the fire, and I'm going to do one here. So fire, the fire? I mean, it's the fire. It's the fire, right? The fire from before. And I think it's just regular fire. Fire continues to creep around. It's a weird thing to say, fire creeping around, right? Is that normal? Continues or spreads to the I guess I should do a very specific thing, huh? So the first fire is just like a fire broke out somewhere where I smelled it. You don't know where it is. And I think I'm going to say the fire fire spreads to, I suppose, hall, the main hallway. I'm looking. Fire looking for something feels weird. I mean, but then that's the imagery. Fire spreads to the main hallway. You are. It is uncertain where it would go next. And then say your crew is visibly stressed and physically impacted. Stressed and physically, let's say visibly stressed and I guess no health. I think I'm going to make it so that it's -1 action from the heat. Visibly stressed and physically exhausted. Exhausted from the heat. From breathing in the fume. And then say, what do you want to do? What do you do? And we have 2 choices here. Put out the fire, as always. And that goes somewhere. Say assign role. Then say keep pressing on, which is silly, but ignore fire. So I'm going to do this right out here. Instead of flag fire ignored, I think I need to do some counts now. Signal count fire ignored instead of flag. And then I'm going to do this to write it out. So this way I can handle multiple ignorance with a single node. So I'm going to do count. And then the count version is going to be basically just incrementing the variable, the given variable. Right, so we have this variable name, var name. Some fancy work being done here. if you haven't seen me do this before or explained this yet, which I did earlier in the stream, this might be confusing. Let me know if you're curious, obviously. Anytime you are curious about anything I do, stop me and ask. Otherwise, if you're just vibing with me, well then, we're vibing. All right, there it is. So it's going to do count, fire ignored. It's going to go up. So instead of being like if fire ignored, it's going to be if fire ignored equals 1. Go here. If fire ignored equals 2, and go here. I don't know if I implemented else if though yet. So let me see. I don't know if I documented this. It only has if in it, else. Though that might have been a recent change. Nanda says, I understand nothing, but still tuning in anyway. Vibing is good. Cassie says, vibing, vibing. Miniskirt, vibing, vibing. We're good. Vibe is vibe. You know, passive knowledge consumption is still valid. First, fire. I'm going to see if I implemented on this plugin a else if or not. Dialog resource, parser. I have not. It's just if and else. Well, there's your answer. It's just going to be, I'll just do it this way actually, honestly. I think it should work. And then the second time ignored, it'll go somewhere else, but it'll go here, count, fire ignored, loses action and gains stress. You can still fix it. Nothing is gone, right? All right. The second time is probably more significant fire. So we're say fire spreads to function, meaning a fire spreads to an important function now. I think fire spreads to function. There you go. And I think this is where I think I'm going to roll probably some sort of randomness and see if it results in engine failure, oxygen failure, or hull breach. Yeah. I guess a hull breach can happen after the fire spreads, though. You know what? I think I'm going to do it immediately. So here I think this is a new case. Basically, I want to make it so that instead of what I had before, let's think about it. We have power, we have engine, we have oxygen. What else is there? Oh, kitchen. Kitchen. Radio. Though, I mean, if it's random, though, it's not going to be too random. I mean, this could be really fun, but then, like, it doesn't get impacted until you actually lose out on the fire. Why would you never ever not fix it? I think only reason you wouldn't fix a fire is because you don't have enough action, meaning you don't have enough people to action with. Huh. Is this worth it? Anyways. So I got it here. First scenario, fire, fire second time around. We're going to choose one of these things. All right. Choose one of the 5. I'm going to say signal roll 5, meaning it's going to roll 5-sided dice. and it's going to give a result. And I say if result equals 1, go to something with the power failure. Fire on generator, I think. And then if result is 2, fire on engine. If result equals 3. Technically I could do this like physically on the ship, right? I could be like, hey, here's a fire. And then it's going to show up. And then it spreads slowly. Versus I'm literally doing it manually. The downside of the positive side of this is that this is purely Dialog way of managing these functions. Downside is if I ever want to make the ship upgradable or downgradable by getting rid of certain rooms, if that's something that I want to do, it's not going to help. But you know what? I don't care. It's not about managing the ship. This is about managing the crew and the story with it. So I'm going to stay focused. I'm not going to be distracted by all these other realistic and cool mechanics of the game. I just want to focus on the game being fun and believable, with the focus being this is a storytelling game where you're managing crew psychosis, okay? So I don't get too distracted and spread myself thin, right? Capwood King says, good for you. Thanks. Gotta stay focused. We got the calm, we got the kitchen. I suppose you could also do medevac command center. How about this? We're gonna do one more. 6 and 7. I mean, those are all the functions. I guess I'll do it as the function. Result equals 6. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna do it. I was gonna do one of those things. When I say one of those things, I meant one of those things that us devs do, where we are like, "Ooh, one more thing, and then we just go into it. That is what we do. Overscope and get distracted. Dream too big. Mikori says, "I'm back. Was gone. Haha." No, it's all good. We're chilling here. I think it's mostly a very silent vibe session at this time. Cassie says, "This stream is so great. I'm glad you don't play background music." Is that a good thing? Some people want background music sometimes. I do have background music every now and then. Um, the co-working sometimes requires background music. I do have a game music. That's a problem. If I turn on the game right now, it's gonna play the game music, which is our music. Our musician has worked on, and it sounds amazing. But Mikori says, by the way, as guess who just applied for a software engineering college course? Wow, Mikori, is that you? Cassie says, game music is okay. Yeah, look, listen to this. I love it so much. Our musician has done an amazing job. I got it. Turn it off. Isn't it vibe? Oh my gosh. It's perfect for this stress management. It's beautiful. Anyways, I'm gonna turn down the sound. But yeah, thanks for enjoying the stream, Cassie. I appreciate it. We're all here. I say it's like library mode with that one friend that just never shuts up. But then it's okay because it's just white noise. Angry Moose on the Loose says, inspirational title. I'm glad. I'm glad the title is really connecting and resonating with a lot of people today, it seems like. McCray says, yeah, if I pass the prerequisite exams test, then I'm in the 3 years of programming. Gonna be stressful. Will direct all my unknown questions to you. Haha, check it unless, I mean, I'm happy to answer. Interview questions, computer programming questions, all those things are really fun for me. Um, actually, the next thing that I was going to do, so I was gonna do a ADHD tutorial series. So basically, same thing I'm doing, but a little bit more organized, more intentional. So if you have already noticed on my roguelike deck builder, this like, hey, I'm making this and this is how I'm gonna do it type of tutorial. Obviously, I do a lot of these like, oh, now I'm thinking about arrays because arrays underlying is implementation of array is blah blah blah, and so I'm thinking about this and that. Those things I think people really enjoy. I thought though sometimes it's like unclear. So something that I really want to do because I just kind of pass over it. Something I really want to do is I'm gonna do a very small implementation, and every time I run across some basic knowledge like fundamentals, stop, refer to it, and say, okay, well, this is everything about it. So, for example, I would be like, because I talk about this all the time, I say, hey, switch is technically more efficient than if. And I'll be like, well, that's because in C and assembly, it takes less instruction number in the CPU to execute switch cases versus if then for the most part. Then the question is why? Now I have to answer that why. And I go, that's because assembly uses these command lines, these commands specifically to do these things. If you want to do if, which does the comparison of the number and the variable, you gotta transport the memory into the memory and then the register, and that's an instruction. Loading to a memory is an instruction, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm like, okay, what does that mean? What does loading an instruction to a memory and register mean? Let's go back to the machine language, and then we'll be like machine language, and then we're like, okay, well, machine language has to be this way because there's a bus and frequency of the CPU, so you have a very limited number of execution per second. And then we're like, well, how do you build a CPU? Logic gate. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. uh, Cassie says, first time I heard match is better than if. Oh, I'm not saying it's better. I didn't say it's better. It's speedier, technically. If everybody re-implemented their code in a way that switch cases can be used in place of your if, then it would be slightly better. It can create less branches. It's less instruction on the machine language. But in the high level language that we are in right now, like modern languages, it's not as good. Because the whole point of Switch being fast on machine language, this is actually pretty fun. I like this. And I can explain it pretty simply here. Um, so Switch is just simply one number comparison, right? So typically, canonically, switches are used on a variable. And then we say case variable equals 1, 2, 3, right? That's why this is used for enum. And it's basically on the machine instruction, it takes the variable and it goes to this place by just simply adding to the memory, right? Because each line of code is a memory address, right? The switch case is in memory X1, let's say, OX1 or hex number 1. Then I would say in the memory code, this line right here would be just simply x2, right? So here, the instruction code execution will be just get the current address plus the variable value, right? Then you simply jump over to this address. If the value is 1, it knows exactly where to go to and then execute that stack. For if cases, because the conditionals are more complicated, it needs to go to a different place to make the calculation in the address, and then it needs to pop the stack and come back to the case and then plus the address number. So it's like a little bit more instruction. Yeah. But in the modern computer language, because we do have switch for string, switch for non primitive variables, they are just basically different format of if. So in today's days, is irrelevant. If you really want to be fast in that terms, whenever you would use it switch, use the dictionary format to a callable. So that's O of 1. Cadeau says, especially if your conditional dereference a pointer on the heap. Yes. Yes. But in high level language, we don't really control the dereferencing of the pointer in the case of execution address management. So the point is moot. Point is moot. It's just fun thought exercise to just kind of go through. But if we're just talking about efficiency, then a simple dictionary approach for any type of like branching behavior is way to go, especially because we have so much memory space now. McCurry says it's cool to see how when compiling C codes, when you compile it to 86 versus ARM or ARM 64, ARM uses less machine codes to run the code than 86. It's cool seeing the difference. Yeah, I mean that's why architecture matters, right? Because the architecture of the CPU short circuits or shortcuts a lot of the complex commands depending on what it can do. But it's very specific. It's like, how specific do you want to make your uh, chip be? Right? It's like basically having a bunch of buttons. CPU is like a bunch of buttons that you can execute, right? And imagine if you had a single command instruction where it hardwires, not software, hardware calculation of 1+1. That's built in. So every time you would do 1+1, it's done in a single cycle, right? Because cycle is what matters. But then more specific it gets, like ray tracing on a graphic card. You have to load that in. That's a lot, but it's used frequently, so it's justifiable. I mean, that's where we're at again with quantum computing, actually. It's very much hardware programming, which is very cool. I do like hardware programming. Actually, hardware programming is much faster than software programming for the most part because you can really optimize for cycles. But, that makes it inflexible. Anyways, we've come a long way though with softwares. So Cassie said, "Uh-oh, you must be catching a cold." Yeah, I'm feeling a little fatigued. I don't think I'm catching a cold. I ate a lot. I drank a lot of water, and I get this way when I'm tired and drink a lot of water, where I feel the water kind of like building up. I have too much liquid in my body right now. Hold on, I gotta pick up this phone call. Sorry, muting myself. What are we talking about here? I got super distracted. Nanda says it must be an important call because use right ear. Oh, I don't know. Right ear, left ear. I can hear things better on my right, but I can detect things faster on my left. Does that make sense? Yeah. Can you hear me though? Yes. All right. What do we got? Mikori says most important thing you should know before working at a company: never commit to main on Friday. Well, funny story. There's a point of confidence where it's like, feels okay. I've done that. Um, Low key, I've also overridden approval to push things with without any code review to main before. I made those choices. It's a give and take. Obviously, you should never be that confident, but I've also done that and screwed it up and had to really make the fix real quickly and push that as well, which is funny, right? Because you're not supposed to do that. It can go into a deeper hole because you're now making a new change, which you need a code review for. But because you first did the bad push, now you can't show it to someone, be like, hey, can you review this real quick? It's like, okay, well, I'm going to sneak this in now. Oh, good old days. Can't do that anymore. System is too rigorous now. Um, Cassie says, sending vitamin C. Thank you. I'll take vitamin C. I need vitamin C. Cadeau says, yeah, just commit to a junk branch on Friday. I junk branch mainline. That's what I say. Anyways, it's been 2 hours since I streamed. It is getting late. I am getting tired. And I achieved what I wanted to achieve, which is rest of that one scenario of the branch of the event. And then also got to talk to a bunch of people. And this was my first stream I announced to Blue Sky. And I wanted to kind of test what that feels like. So that was good. I got to sing for Mikori because Mikori really wanted me to sing into the mic, which I did. And we made good friends. So yeah, thanks for coming by, everyone. I think I will say goodbye for now. I am still moving. I'm in the middle of things. So, you know, I don't know when I will be back, but I really hope to see everyone again. Cassie says, thank you for the stream. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the follow and the sub again. That's very nice of you. And Nanda as well. Thanks for the super chat. I'll see everyone later. Goodbye. Have a nice evening, morning, or wherever you are. I'll see everyone soon. I'm going to end the stream. Don't make me say goodbye. No, I'm just kidding. I have to say goodbye. I have to go.